Do you remember Shall We Date? Many girls who today play games like Love in Deep Space and other handheld Otome games started their gaming journey with a handful of iOS Android games made by NTT Solmare under the title of Shall We Date. On October 28, 2025, the company will be discontinuing all their remaining games other than the game Obey Me. So doing a retrospective right now feels relevant. I remember playing these games when I was a preteen and having an enormous folder with all the games I was playing at the same time. I had about 9 and I remember circling through them and doing my dailies every single day on every single one. These games were almost like anthologies in the way that they were all otomes, but the starting concept was different. In one, you were a wizard beginning your first year at a magical school. In another, you were an undead princess with great hair, woken from your endless slumber to marry the king of the underworld. These games even played off some of our modern fairy tales, turning them into otome games. For some reason, I didn't remember this, but Solmare made 2 otome games off the concept of Alice in Wonderland. In Guilty Alice, you were sent on a mission to procure yourself a heart for the Queen of Hearts after breaking it, while Lost Alice had you transported to Wonderland with a bad case of amnesia. These games gave me a lot of nostalgia because of how every route felt entirely different. While the character archetypes did fit into strict boxes and reappeared over and over in their games, the concepts made each feel different and unique. These games even had a homepage where you could buy accessories to decorate and dress up your main character and your current love interest. There was also a point system associated with it that served as a paywall to continue the story. I remember having to buy items in the hopes of getting the ending I wanted. Back when I still played, the game had to be played vertically, which is much different than today where all of their current games play horizontally. I'm not sure what the change brings to the story, but from my experience, I remember having an easier time playing the game vertically. I guess that's why I'm so used to playing Mystic Messenger and Love in Deep Space today. Trying to research Shall We Date games today is actually a very difficult task because the company has either unlisted or removed all of the videos that served as promotion material for their games. So finding any footage for them is a daunting task to say the least. It's a shame that the company hasn't released these games as payables or even simply as offline modes that people could play as much as they want, because there is a lot of material online that points to people missing these games and finding a lot of nostalgia in trying to play them again. I know personally that I would probably be willing to pay full price for a version that we could play on the Switch, as some games have already been ported on the Switch. Despite their unavailability today, I think some of us can say that we're grateful for the simple existence of these games and that we had the pleasure to play them, because in some ways, these games are pioneers of the otome culture in the West, which allowed for future games like Love in Deep Space, Mystic Messenger, Tears of Themis, and even The Arcana to emerge. Without Solmare and Shall We Date games paving the way for otome culture, we would have never had access to all of these great games today. And as someone who gets nostalgic very easily, I'm going to miss these games.